Hey, what's going on, tribe? It's Red again, just hitting you guys up with another video. If you're new to my channel, welcome. So guys, I'm going to hit you guys up with a reading of things that you need to surrender. This is going to be a general reading, so if you feel the reading doesn't resonate for you, you may want to check out another reader. It's going to be a timeless reading, so when you come across this reading, it's for you. And if any of you are interested in a personal reading, you can send me an email or send me a DM on Instagram. I also offer distance Reiki healing as one of my services, and I also make customized crystal necklaces to help balance out your chakras. Over there, mate. Sorry for any background noise, because we're out in nature and some things are out of my control. And I'm going to put all my information in the drop down menu and at the end of every video. So let's see what the collective needs to currently surrender. Alright, the first card that come out is Surrender Fear. You currently need to surrender you need to surrender your fears and step outside your comfort zone. Whatever's holding you back, you need to face fear head on and be courageous. Sometimes fear can keep us stuck and stop us from proceeding in our journey. And yeah, you need to step outside your comfort zone, because fear's stopping you, fear's keeping you blocked or stuck at this current time. Some of you need to work on your solar plexus chakra. You may have energy cords attached to your solar plexus chakra that need cutting or clearing. Some of you may have self-esteem or confidence issues as well. So some of you need to work on that solar plexus. You can work with citrine crystal to help balance out that chakra, and the solar plexus chakra is the main powerhouse for would I say humans? Humans in this incarnation. It's like one of our main powerhouses. That and our sacral chakra are our powerhouses for this incarnation. And then the next card is Surrender Unhealthy Relationships. So relationships that no longer serve your highest good or serve your spiritual growth, you need to kind of let go of them to progress forward. So it doesn't just have to be romantic relationships, it can be family members, or it could be colleagues, or even your boss. So if you feel that you're if the energy that you're giving out is not reciprocated, you need to kind of move on from that. Some of you may have heart chakra blockages as well, which is stopping you from accepting love, is what I'm getting. And I'm also getting don't settle as well. So if you're feeling that you need to kind of be in situations or relationships where you're not appreciated, yeah, you're being called to not settle. And this also kind of, I'm getting this links in with the solar plexus chakra as well. Maybe you have confidence issues or low self-esteem issues, so you're surrendering, you're settling for situations that are kind of, you don't need to settle for. Like you may be staying with somebody because you fear to be alone, is what I'm getting. Or you fear to cut certain family members off, or leave your job. Yeah. Let's see what else comes up. Very interesting. Very interesting. And then the next card is Surrender Denial. So you have to ask yourself serious questions. what are you in denial of? Do certain situations, are you making excuses for certain situations is what I'm getting. And you need to accept situations and people as they are. And then the card says, accept people and situations exactly as they are without denying the difficulties. Then you can see things clearly and make the best decisions. So yeah, try to not sugarcoat things, and try to make excuses for people is what I'm getting. Yeah, you need to be very honest with yourself at these times. Some of you are in denial though. Maybe about leaving a certain situation, maybe a job where you're not appreciated, or a relationship where you're not appreciated, or even friendships where you're not appreciated, where the give and take of the energy is not being reciprocated. So you need to be honest with yourself and see situations exactly as they are instead of making excuses for them, or the other person, or the situation in general, should I say. And then the next card is surrender worry. So you're being called to surrender your worries. Anything that is worrying you at this current time, you need to let go and surrender and turn it over to the universe, because everything is how it should be. There is nothing to worry about. You are exactly where you need to be, and the current lessons that you're experiencing, even if they're not pleasant, they're there for your growth. And you're also being called to step outside your comfort zone once again. Maybe fear change is what I'm getting, or you worry about change, or some of you worry about what people think of you also. So maybe you may be into spirituality and your family is religious and you don't want to tell them that you don't believe in religion, and you're feared of being judged at the moment. Some of you is what I'm getting. And try not to let your anxiety get the best of you. Yeah, try not to let your anxiety get the best of you. If you feel that you're suffering with anxiety as well, take some deep breaths to recenter yourself. And if you're anxious and all in your head, you need to kind of get out into nature and ground, because when you're up in your head a lot, that means you've got a lot of energy up in your head and you need to ground it down. This may be due to the ascension energies as well, because I've been struggling to stay grounded as well in these recent energies. Yeah. Let's see what else is coming up. Very interesting. And then the next card is surrender negative thinking. So you've been called to kind of guard your thoughts at this time, because what you think you create. So if your internal world is if your internal world is chaotic and turmoil, your external world is a projection of your internal world. So what you're feeling internally, you're going to manifest externally. So you're being called to guard your thoughts at this time. Some of you may need to meditate to kind of recenter your thoughts, because I haven't been too good with the meditating of recently. So yeah, my thoughts are a bit scrambled, should I say, as well. So yeah, you're being called to surrender negative thinking. Some of you may need to journal and write down how what your thoughts are, so then you could view them and then get them out of your head if you feel that you can't speak to people about what you're experiencing. And then the next card is surrender stubbornness. So that's all ego, that one. So yeah, you're being called to surrender being stubborn. Yeah, because being stubborn and not being flexible is more masculine energy, and more being rigid, that's more masculine energy. So you may be having an imbalance with your masculine and feminine energy. I'm getting for this though, this is more I'm getting a female energy for this, the stubbornness. So you may be a female, have a female body but have a more masculine energy. So you're being called to more lean more to your feminine energy. Masculine is more giving in nature, and feminine is more receiving in nature. So you may be being called to actually receive more at this time, and not being stubborn. And also what I'm getting is not to be stubborn about expressing how you feel, or expressing yourself in general. So also, if you've done wrong, yeah, you can apologize. Don't be stubborn. Acknowledge that you've done wrong, and don't people blame. Is what I'm getting for that card. Okay, this card wanted to come out. Let's go for that. And then the next card is, yeah, surrender to silence. So yeah, you're being called to kind of silence your mind. Try to disconnect from the external world as much as possible. You're being called to go out into nature and to ground. Even being in nature and just listening to nature is very healing. Yeah, some of you are being called to meditate as well, to silence the mind, because once you silence the mind, you start getting clearer information, and clearer insight, should I say. And some of you need to recenter as well, is what I'm getting. If you've been, some of you need to do some cord cutting and energy clearing. If your energy is very spaced out, you need to kind of call your energy back in to recenter. Yeah, that's what I'm getting. That's what I'm getting for that card. Let's see what else comes up in the reading. Very interesting reading. And the center card is surrender negative thoughts. So all this may revolve around negative thoughts. So if you change your thinking, you can change your experience. It's your attachment to the experience that makes it positive or negative. And then the next card is, yeah, look, surrender your ego. So some of you is very in your ego at the moment, and you're being called to surrender your ego. If you're coming from a place of fear, that is all ego. There's only two real emotions in the universe, and that's love and fear. Love is all spirit, and fear is all ego. So if there's some of your egos is really getting in the way. So some of you are operating from your ego and sabotaging. Some of you don't feel that you're worthy enough, or are worthy. I'm getting a masculine energy, man. So some of you energy doesn't have form. So you may be masculine, female, female masculine. If that's what I'm getting. But yeah, you need to let go of your ego. And the best way to kind of surrender your ego is to kind of work from your heart space. Some of you may have a blocked heart chakra as well, that's stopping you from connecting with your divine self. Some of you may be operating from your shadow side as well. And being in your ego can block you a lot in your journey. If you're trying to progress in your spiritual journey, your ego can get in the way. And then the next card is surrender to trust. So some of you are maybe not trusting the process, and you need to let go and surrender and trust the process. Everything is happening as it should be. You are exactly where you need to be. Everything is happening perfectly. And some of you just need to trust that. If you need guidance, ask your angels to give you guidance. and some of you need to trust that everything will work out just fine. Maybe some of you use your ego. Some of you may have trust issues, and this may be ego, is what I'm getting. So if you've had bad past relationships, you may be scared to be vulnerable and open up because of being hurt, which is all ego, and that's okay. You have to judge. You have to use your discernment. In situations, but yeah, you've been called to trust the process and trust yourself as well. You know exactly what you need to do and where you need to be and what works for you and what doesn't work for you. So you need to trust yourself and act accordingly. And then the next card is surrender, non-action. So you're being called to just not react to certain situations. If you're getting triggered by a certain situation, there's still more healing that needs to occur. If situations you don't get triggered by, that means you're pretty okay. But sometimes it's better to not act in situations because you can make a situation worse by acting on the situation. You're being called to just observe and sit back at the moment. So whether you're contemplating leaving a job or contemplating leaving a relationship, you're being called to just not to act at this moment. Just sit back and observe, contemplate, meditate, get centered. Yeah, you're being called to recenter yourself so then you can focus. Maybe some of you need to do some breath work to recenter yourself as well. And let's get a last card as well. And then the last card is surrender compromise with other people. So some of you're being called to meet people halfway. If you like what I'm getting is some of you may want things to go your way, and it's about compromise in any relationship, friendships, family members, your work colleagues and stuff. There has to be a balance, give and take, like I was saying earlier in the reading. It's about compromise, giving and taking. If you're feeling that energy is not being reciprocated, you need to question that where the energy is going. You're being called to focus on your strengths and stand in your power, and some of you got low self-esteem as well and low confidence issues. You're being called to know that you're attractive as well. If you feel that you're unattractive, that may be to do with past trauma, childhood issues. Maybe some of you's got bullied in school or primary school, or just have poor self-image is what I'm getting as well. But yeah, you're being called to compromise with yourself as well. Meet yourself halfway. Don't be too rigid on yourself as well. If you're feeling tired, rest. Yeah, that's what I'm getting for that card. Yeah, that's what I'm getting for that card. Yeah, it's a pretty cool reading, guys. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on in the collective at the moment, which is very interesting because I pop up in the general readings as well, so it's very interesting. But yeah, if you like the video, like, share, subscribe. Don't be shy. I see you guys watching, but I don't see you guys liking. It helps the algorithm. And just hit the comments and let me know if it resonated for where you're at in your journey as well. If any of you are interested in a personal reading or some distance Reiki healing or some customized crystal necklaces, anklets or bracelets, hit me up. I also make them. And yeah, peace, love and light, tribe, and I'm going to hit you guys up real soon.